I just arrived back at the property after 5 days. As a brief update, we had some crazy rain, probably the hardest rainstorm. And the next morning, I mean, our house was flooded from 11:30 till 3 a.m. I kept getting up and having to squeegee the water out of the house. In the morning, I came outside and I just heard the sound of water, and I went over, and this little trickle that's usually across the street was a river. It had come all the way up over the banks. Half of our neighbor's driveway was washed away. And then it ran out to where there was nowhere else to go, and it just started spreading across all of the fields. So I thought surely we were gonna be flooded out here. And so I drove out here, and we weren't. It wasn't all that bad. I say that I thought we were going to be for sure, because we flood a lot this year. And then we had some friends come and visit, and we spent the whole day out here, and everything was great. I went to Bangkok for work. Jessica came out here the next day in the afternoon, and she couldn't even get on the road. Like at the very beginning of the road, it was flooded out. And so we had the director of the ministry, John Wood, was in the country planning to come that day to visit the property for the first time. And he was only able to see it by drone because we couldn't get anywhere near it. And so we flew across to see it. And we could see that there had been water. There was water, standing water, and there had been water in the shop that I'm standing in front of. So just to give you kind of an idea, I don't know how it's gonna work with the sun being as crazy it is. These pallets that are sitting over here, they have boards screwed to the top of them because they are our walking path to get through the mud way over here. This is where they were, along with this one, laying across this place as a walking path to stay out of that mud. So they floated all the way over there. Yeah, this pump was standing up over here, and obviously it was picked up and dropped. The water came all the way up into the shop. This is all of our water filtration stuff that I had just brought and dropped off. I didn't leave it looking like that when I left. So it floated, some of it floated over there. Our chicks just hatched while we were gone, I guess, so that's what the racket is over there. So in assessing things, I came over and realized that this here is the water line. You can see it goes all the way around there. We have the same level line on the battery bank that's on the ground. Yeah, so the fridge is currently on. I checked it, but it's all hot in there and everything is melted in the freezer. So clearly it was underwater. Oh, and our solar inverter that we had stored underneath the shop desk, as well as the welding machine. It's okay, Mama. My guitar, letting the case dry out. It seems like it might be okay. It's all right, Mama Bird. These chickens are so pretty. You're doing a good job, Mama. Yeah, so that's what we've got going on here. One of the most impressive things that I saw, in my opinion, I was impressed anyway, is these two bricks right here. 1, 2. Those were over there. With that other one, you can kind of see right there, I had made a little square as a burn pile, whatever, containment. And yeah, they floated pretty far. You can see the water line on the house. Maybe you can see the water line on the house. Yeah. So thankfully the house is up high. I'm really struggling to decipher all of this because that's what we have there as far as what it looks like the water line for the house is, but yet this hole is not full. I mean, clearly the water was above the pump here because it's wet. The plug there looks like it had water in it, but I don't know. I struggled to believe that the water was up this high, but that hole is not full. But walking around the whole place, it does seem that way. Which would, if that is the water height, I would say we maybe built the house the perfect height, because there's the doorway. But then at the same time, if this is the water level, then it would have been over this edge here that's a little bit lower. And none of the pipes and stuff that I had sitting up here floated away. I mean, even the small little pieces there. So, I don't know. Though I guess that is wet. Let's see. That's dry. I don't know, but we had some water. The pond is back to normal. When we flew the drone over, I'll see if I can get the footage. When we flew the drone over, that water level was quite high. The pump, let's go see the pump. The pump was significantly underwater. We could see in the drone video. Wow. So it's now back on dry ground. But yeah, you can see the rust on the plug. All of this was underwater. That pump was very much underwater. The water was going part way up that mound that we built for the solar. Anyway, that's the update for now. It looks like the orchard is dried out. Okay, we got water snails all down here. The orchard seemed to be dried out already. So, who knows? But we could use some prayer to know what to do, how to move forward, what to tackle. You know, do we try and let the inverter and the welder and so on dry out and try and use them, or do we replace them? Yeah, just keep us in prayer for wisdom and knowing what to do, but also for all of the farmers in this area. There was a bunch of them the day we came to fly the drone over, and they were all just sitting out at the end of the road because they couldn't get in on their motorbikes. And they said there was 100 rye of rice. 100 rye is what? We have 11 rye and it's like 5 acres. So anyways, it's a lot of land, a lot of rice that was almost ready. Basically, it would have been ready this week. Was flooded out and underwater. And they tell us that means that it's done. You can't recover from that. So it's going to be a significant hit to the farmers in the area. So pray that we can know how we can try and minister to them as well and help them through this situation. But yeah, been a while since we had an update, and sorry it's not a more positive one. But we're grateful that, you know, it could have been much worse. We could have been out here and then trapped out here for, you know, a week with no way to get in or out. It's just stuff. Stuff is stuff. And yeah, we're all safe. And so far as we know, everyone is safe out here. So praise God. All right. Thanks for watching. And thanks for your prayers.